told you I found you a perfect match, chosen by science, but you had to marry them right this second. You would tell me, well, that sounds pretty whack, and I would add you have 8 weeks to know if you really love them. You just got married at first sight. Jason and Aysha gonna tell you wrong from right. Are all these couples just disasters waiting to happen? Imagine if one of them could be a perfect match.
Hello and welcome to A Perfect Match, where we talk about this amazing show called Married at First Sight. I am Aysha, and I am here with my co-host who, it's been a week since we've talked, and I was really surprised and shocked that I actually missed him. Like, really surprised. I'm a little taken aback. How shocked I am. But it's my co-host, Jason Reed. Jason, how are you?
You really missed my hair going around all the podcasts, huh? Right. Listen, Aysha, I appreciate you saying that, but I am still a little upset with you. I tried to convince you to put on some dinosaur costumes to introduce the podcast, but you refused because you are an enemy of fun. So I'm still a little perturbed, but I think we can try and get through this podcast.
I mean, actually, I just know how to put my foot down and not just appease you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought you were someone that liked to put everybody before you, but I guess you're taking a stand this time, and you're gonna do what's best for you, what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm growing. I do have a question for you though.
Uh-oh.
What do you need to see from these spouses before decision day?
Any ounce of effort would really help with a lot of these people. That's what I need to see. Some effort. I feel like Nicole is taking up all the effort in the room.
She took all the effort that could be taken and put it on her back.
It's like Space Jam. She just sucked all the effort out of it with like a magical golf ball or something. Like
literally,
she took it all because these people are most of them are just not trying.
They have no try in them. It's ridiculous. But welcome, guys. We are here to talk about episode 17 of season 16, if you can believe it. This is our 17th episode this season. We are back just like every week.
It feels like episode like 28, to be honest with you. I mean, for those familiar with like the challenge, there used to be an episode after the season ended of the ish they should have shown. And this really felt like this was that. Like, we got like fun camp. It felt like we were going to summer camp with them, and we just like went along with some games, and there was no actual like content to be found here.
Literally, I was not physically at the retreat, and I was ready to go.
Yeah. Can I get my stuff and get out of here, please? Like, why are we still here? Typically, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like in past seasons we've gotten an episode of the retreat, and the next day usually starts like we get maybe half, like maybe a quarter of the episode is still the retreat, and then we leave and go do other stuff. But this is just like, let's go along with all of the couples as they do fun stuff. I'm like, why? Why do I need this? Why?
Literally. Why? No, yeah, literally. That it's, you know what it is? They have a huge lack of content between now and decision day.
Huge.
And so they're just like, let's drag this out as much as we can.
Dragging. Like, when I say dragging, like dragging us through the mud, through the grime, through the just mundane. Like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, can we just get to decision day, please? Like,
yeah,
we already know what's going to happen. Why do we need to beat this dead horse? Like, this poor dead horse, there's almost nothing left. We've beaten it like into a fine paste at this point.
Yeah, literally. We were talking before we started recording, and I was like, literally, you could probably do a control find on this episode of notes and just find so many duplicates throughout the season.
We hit a lot of keywords. We hit grace, we hit communication, we hit be yourself.
It's ridiculous.
Speak up more. Like,
right.
I'm not even just once, multiple times in the episode, we went over the same content the same things were said multiple times in the same episode.
Yeah. But if you're here with us, I'm assuming you've been here with us either the whole season or a few episodes. But if this is your first episode, make sure you go subscribe to the Love at First Sight feed. That's where you can get all of these podcasts, as well as Love is Blind, The Ultimatum, which is coming up May 24th, I believe. May 24th or May 26th. It's coming up
25th.
soon.
It's the 25th, actually.
Or May 30th. Late May.
May 35th. May 35th.
Right. As well as our coverage of the show, the show Perfect Match on Netflix. So make sure you go subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the Rob Has a Podcast YouTube channel. And we are on YouTube this season. So make sure you go subscribe so you can watch and you can see our faces. And then make sure you go leave a 5-star rating review on our feed. We really appreciate it. We would really love to know that y'all are watching or listening and enjoying this content. We want to shout out a couple. So one we have from Ashbald04. It's my favorite podcast. I started watching MAFS about a year ago and found this pod 6 months ago. I love Jason and Aysha's content so much that I've gone back and listened to all the episodes from past seasons I've watched. The Love is Blind content is the best. Thank you both for breaking down every episode so we don't have to.
Love is Blind. I love Love is Blind.
Settle it for the people. Why do you hate Love is Blind?
I don't hate Love is Blind. Listen, someone accused me of hating Love is Blind in the Facebook group this week. I don't hate Love is Blind. I enjoyed the season for the most part of Love is Blind. I just, we've been here for years. We've been doing this longer. Like, if y'all love Love is Blind, come over here. We're here. We're doing it. It's the same type of thing. We just do it for a lot longer. Like, a lot longer. You actually get some context and not like weird out of nowhere stuff like, where did that come from? We know why these people are thinking the way they think. We get long and detailed.
We know why their marriages are doomed.
Right. We get long and detailed explanation of why these people suck. So
yeah.
But like I said last week, I'm preaching to the choir. Y'all already know that if you're watching this. But I mean, recruit your friends over. If your friends are like, oh, I miss Love is Blind. Like, listen, I got another show for you. It's called Married at First Sight. It's pretty simple. Come on over. So yeah, I don't hate Love is Blind. I like Love is Blind. Love is Blind is great, especially this season. So I do not hate Love is Blind. To clear the air, I do.
Thanks for setting the record straight.
Yes, I know everyone's waiting with bated breath for my final take on my feelings on Love is Blind.
Right. So the next review.
Oh, the next review. Yes, because you're waiting for me. Sorry. Yeah. The next review is from MSMRP3. Hopefully you're not like a chat GPT bot, MSMRP3.
Aysha and Jason are great.
Aysha and Jason are great. They talked about my cousin Ben on the last season. Beep, bop, beep, borp. The title of the review is So Entertaining. It says, I just want to say how much I am loving the MAFS and Love is Blind podcast. I was happy to hear about the Facebook group as well. Thank you so much for what you do each and every week. You make the podcast entertaining, even when an episode might have been a little slow to watch. Your content on the podcast makes me enjoy the shows even more. Thank you, Aysha, Jason, and Mary. Thank you all for the reviews. Appreciate it all, even the ones that talk about a certain show. We love you all. The end.
I don't know if I believe you.
Believe me. Trust me.
I was looking for a chat GPT to see if we can get it to write a review on our podcast.
That'd be good.
But it's making me log in. Why would I? This is so annoying.
Have you used ChatGPT yet? I've yet to even actually use it myself.
I used it once to tell it about myself, and
are you sure you want to do that, Aysha? Are you sure you want to do that? You want to give the computers all your information?
It already has it, though.
I
said, tell me about, and I put my at Aysha like Aysha, and then it told me it's like Aysha is a podcaster. Like,
I'm scared. I'm scared to ask it about me. I don't know. I feel like it'll get personal with me. I don't want to do that.
Jason, you mean Jason Reed?
That guy? He trash.
I'll get it up. But
whoa.
Jeez.
You said it, not me.
You thought it.
You said it.
So I will get this. I'm gonna tell it to give us a review. But before we could do that, make sure you go and subscribe, or not subscribe. You go join our Facebook group. You can find it at A Perfect Match Podcast on Facebook. And you can join in on the fun. We have so much dialogue going on in there, so much conversation. Really love it. I love the community that people are really can't even say we've created, but it's just like everyone in there is fostering such a great community of dialogue about this show. So I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see how far it's come. We've just we started out posting stuff ourselves, and now everyone's just kind of joining in on the fun and having a lot of fun conversations and fun topics in there. Some about the show itself, some about us. So come on, in. Join the fun.
Yeah, please. And to join the fun, if you go and you click join on the group, make sure that you put in this week's password, which is
appeasement. Sounds like a Clint word.
Right.
Can you talk to me on a level that I understand, please?
I thought that was very interesting. I mean, we'll get to it, but when Gina was like, say it like you want me to understand it, not just like how you want to explain it.
Say it like I'm 5.
Right. Let's see. Okay, there we go. It's thinking. Oh no, it's completely wrong.
ChatGPT being wrong? Get out of here.
I know it has the stop generating.
Oh, see, it's getting a mind of its own.
Right? A review on the hosted by Aysha Welch and Jason Reed. Okay, we're getting too off the rails here, guys. As you know, there wasn't much to talk about for this episode, but we will get it going. So we are going to do this one chronologically because just like the last episode, it's all about the retreat. We're still at the retreat, y'all. I'm sorry. So it is
the Smoky Mountains.
Right. It is 7 days until decision day. They are away at this retreat. We get a shot of Eris is back at home. He left last episode because he had a big meeting that he needed to be in person for. So he's back at home. He said we get this he's filming himself. He says he woke up. There was no Duchess, no Jasmine. It feels different, and it doesn't feel like home.
He is cheesing so hard. I don't know if I can believe him when he says he misses Jasmine and Dutch. He's like, yeah. It's missing Jasmine so much. Having a great time though. Like he's so happy. He's like, oh yeah, I miss Jasmine. That's what I'm supposed to say, right? Yeah.
Right. He's like, that's what you want to hear, right?
Yeah. That's all you need to say to make me look like not the bad guy here.
Right. So then we cut over to Jasmine. She's like, I'm gonna continue being the seventh wheel in this situation. We get a shot of Nicole. She's like, my little baby is still sleeping. She is referring to Chris.
To her grown-ass man husband, Chris, her little baby.
She gets up and shows the view in their room, says it looks really nice. And then we cut over to Clint, who is very hungover. He has aspirin, which do people really call it aspirin anymore? Like,
well,
don't you just name what you have?
They're probably not allowed to say the actual like brand name of whatever he's taking. Like he had the bottle like to the side we couldn't see the brand name. He still had his eyeliner on from the night before. As we'll hear about, he got kind of put to bed. He didn't really go to bed on his own. He got kind of put to bed. So he still has his guy liner on fresh from last night.
It is very hard to get off, so I can't blame him. You really got to get in there and rub with like makeup remover. So we find out that Clint did polish off a giant bottle of champagne. And then we cut to a random excursion of the couples that are most likely to make it. Is what I thought this was.
Listen, at least it wasn't based on race, as it has been in the past like couple of double dates we've seen. It's like, no, this time it's just going to be who we think actually likes each other enough to actually go out on an excursion together.
Right. Who will want to take pictures and keep it 7+ days from now.
We're not going to waste our money on pictures that you're just going to throw away the day after decision day.
Exactly. So it's Nicole and Chris and Kirsten and Shaq. They go to this photography place and they have to get dressed up, kind of like old Western type attire, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And so Shaq and Chris, they're talking while Nicole and Kirsten are talking. So I'm kind of going to go back and forth. So with the guys, Shaq tells Chris that him and Nicole give them all hope because they can see like what's possible. We cut over to the ladies and Nicole says, Nicole is telling Kirsten, our resident real estate agent, she's telling her that her and Chris are talking about this lease situation. They haven't found any homes that they like. And Kirsten's like, well, maybe y'all need to just wait it out for someone that can take all 5 of you.
Kirsten's like, sorry about your luck. I don't know.
Sucks to suck.
Can't do anything to help you. Kirsten's like, I only work with $1 million homes, and I don't work with little peon renters. I am a realtor for people that want to buy a house. Okay, so I have no time for you, and I hope that works out for you.
That's a lot of lost money too. Is like that. Like people don't realize that the like. Real estate agents can really, like, you do a lot of rentals, you really can, it can stack up. Because usually you get like you could get 1 month's worth. Your commission is like 1 month's rent.
Yeah.
People just sleep on it.
And in this conversation, like, Nicole is talking about, like, we've seen places, but we haven't found anything that we like. And to me, that's like, okay, so y'all are actively, like, seeking out places, yet you still are harping on having a quote unquote plan. But I mean, y'all are actively trying to find a place. It's not like Chris is just sitting on his butt doing nothing.
Yeah, now I don't know what to believe. So then we cut over to the guys. Chris says that Nicole is, she's worried about after decision day and she's getting very rash about it. Cut over to the
what an old person word. Right? She's getting rash about this.
Exactly.
I don't understand why you're being so rash.
So rash and unreasonable.
You're incorrigible.
We cut over to the ladies and Kirsten says that her and Shaq haven't even talked about what living would look like after.
That's weird, right? Like
very.
Like that should really tell you something. Like she's like, yeah, no, we haven't talked about it. Like, there's only 7 days left, right? Like
exactly. We're a week out. It was on the tip of my tongue, and I have to realize who I'm talking to.
Aysha, don't do that. Do not filter yourself because you're afraid of getting called Aysha Welch. No one wants that. Please tell us what you were thinking.
I was going to say, I have plenty of trips planned for more than 5 days, 7 days out.
Oh, I bet you do. Little Miss Jet Setter.
Oh,
you want to tell everybody why the podcast is going to be a day late in a couple weeks?
Oh, hey, if y'all watch Survivor or Big Brother Canada and you live in the Toronto area, I will be in Toronto for the RHAP live event. So Wednesday night is already sold out. But Thursday night, there's still some tickets left for Big Brother Canada.
You'll have to watch Big Brother Canada, but
exactly.
You'll get to meet Aysha. That's the upside.
But really, if you do live in the Toronto area, hit me up because I will have plenty of time during the day while I'm there. And I would love to meet people, even if you aren't able to attend an event.
Just taking a quick jaunt over to Canada because, Just what Aysha Welch does, you know? It's nothing. Another country? Short notice? Sure, why not?
It was a short notice.
I mean,
hey, I had like a month to plan. So anywho, back to this photography date. So we cut over to the men. Shaq says sometimes they're just on different, or he said sometimes they're on different pages at times. I would like to revise
that's one of those words.
Yes, all the time. It's rare that they are on the same page.
They don't even know what book they're reading. Like they can't even like if you ask them for a book report, like what book are y'all reading? They don't even know. Like they talk in such like vagueness and in circles. It's like, what are y'all talking about? Like, and like so Rudy on After Party asked Kirsten like, so what do you like? What are you talking about when you're asking about like what these deep conversations? What do you want to know from Shaq that you haven't figured out already?
Right.
And Kirsten's are just like, I just want to know if he likes me and if he can see himself loving me. I was like, that's not even a real answer to this question. Like, what do you like? I don't like. They don't talk in specifics at all, ever.
And okay. So to that point, she also said that. She also said that they've only done that late night thing like 2 or 3 times.
And Rudy was like specified in the 6 weeks. She's like, yeah, that Eris's ignorant ass. It's gonna be like, well, that's a lot. Like,
right?
I don't know. Is that a lot? I didn't see that as a lot.
And that's really not a lot. They were like in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Once every other week.
Right. I didn't see that as a like big deal. No, I did see it as a big deal because like Shaq said, like I gotta get up at 6:30 in the morning. Shaq is annoyed as hell with Kirsten, like in these conversations. Like he does not want to talk to Kirsten, like
because if this three times, you're just annoyed with her as a person. Because like, it's not like she like this is a regular routine. Every night she has me up until 2 a.m. trying to talk. That would be annoying. But no, not this one time she had me.
What do you want now, Kirsten? God. You just want to talk. I wanted a marriage where there was no talking. Like you just come to my stuff, be proud of me, and just be silent. Like that's all I want. I can ask Jackie, as he will say later, I learned by observing you. I don't need to talk. Oh, Shaq.
Right. And so
what do they talk about? The 3 o'clock in the morning. Like what more do y'all need to know? Like what does Kirsten need to know specifically? Because Shaq has all the information he needs, apparently. He don't want to talk anymore.
He's like, all he can do is observe. But I will say, went to the point you made earlier that she said she wants to know if he likes her or whatever. I mean, we did get a taste of that in the preview where she's like, I don't even know if you like me.
I don't either.
Exactly. That's what, like, I think she's not looking for him to constantly validate her by saying those words, but she wants to see, like, she still wants through conversation for him to be actively pursuing an interest in her. Like, when you're getting to know someone, trust me, in today's dating world, you've been out of the game a minute, Jason.
I was never really in the game. I won the first level and I was like, I'm good. I'm done. I'm gonna hang him up. I'm great.
Well, aren't you lucky?
I got the game on easy mode. I got it. I got it easy. I was done with the game real fast.
Yeah. It's like you can very easily tell if somebody is genuinely interested in you by the amount of like getting to know you they're trying to do. Like they just want you. That's why conversations can go till 3 a.m. because you're just constantly just trying to get to know this person inside and out. Where it's like with Kirsten, she feels like, okay, are we just going through the motions? Are you just like, she doesn't feel that from him, that he is just genuinely interested in her. And I mean, like, I know they've consummated their marriage, but
maybe only once.
Right. Maybe only once, but we've been getting that feeling for a while that he is just annoyed with her. And there's no way she can't feel that at this point.
And like more and more, it feels like Shaq just wants to call somebody wife. I mean, we use the term trophy wife a lot, where he just wants someone to show off and someone to be there at his stuff. And he has this weird like obsession with, I want you to want to be there. I don't want to go to some university function. That's not my idea of a good time. Like,
yeah,
I want to make you happy by being there for you, and I am proud that you are in a good position. But do I want to be there? I mean,
maybe not really.
Like, I mean,
yeah.
If Shaq's expectations are very high, and for his expectations to be so high, he's not really wanting to put in a lot of work for it.
Right. Like, I feel like in order for his expectation to be so high, and which people could say the same for Kirsten, that he needs to be putting his best foot forward to kind of match that. Like, I'm doing this, so I would expect this to match. Yeah. Whereas we can kind of tell what Kirsten is expecting. Like, she wants to be treated like a princess. She wants to be provided for. That's what she's looking for. But she also would want that person to be interested in her.
She wants someone that's going to give her undivided attention. And it feels like Shaq's attention is divided into many different areas.
Yeah, his attention is divided where he wants it to be. And he's mad that she doesn't want to be at those.
And right now, she gets a very small percentage of his attention.
Yes.
She probably wants like to double that percentage of attention. Yeah. And she
wants them to be like obsessed with each other.
Yeah.
Which I can't blame her. Like, that would be great. Yeah.
Shaq's like, I don't know. I got
you asking for too much.
I got school, work. Like, ugh.
I gotta go work out.
Yeah, I'm just curious about, like, y'all have spent the last 7 weeks together. You've spent at least a little time every day together. I mean, well, except for work trips. But like, what else is there? Like, are we just like, I don't know what side to be on here. Is it like, because at a certain point I could be like Shaq and be like, okay, like, we have talked about so much stuff. Like, what more do you need? And when Kirsten is asked point blank, she can't even really say it.
Yeah, because that's the problem. You can't just I guess not. Yeah, you can't quantify it. Like, okay, I need to know this, and this, because it's not as simple as that. Mm-hmm. That's why I think that she gets to that point next week of like, do you like me? like she's trying to figure out how to say it in so many words. Like, I'm trying to get to know so much about you. Why don't you want to get to know so much more about me? Like, she's thinking it's endless. Like, they'll never know every piece of each other. And so she's thinking like right now they should at least be getting to know each other, just like endless conversation. But, you know, he's saying, oh, I'm observing you. I'm learning what I need to know when I observe.
Yeah. But at the same time, right? Kirsten's like, I want to get to know everything about each other, blah, blah, blah. But you won't let this man meet your family. Like, it seems like Two-Faced to me a little bit. Like, I want to know everything about you. I want us to be involved in each other's lives, but you can't meet my family yet. Like,
because she has that wall up. She doesn't feel like this is gonna last. So why open that door for you to meet my family when I don't know if it's gonna last?
I feel like meeting the family in this situation should be a no-brainer. You literally married this man. Like, yeah. what is the harm in him coming to meet your father, your whoever? He literally met probably a bunch of your family at the wedding. Like, what? I don't understand Kirsten's view on this at all. Like, I don't want him to get too close to my family. Like unless you're introducing people to like your small child, like, I don't think anyone's going to be too broken up over like if you like broke up with Shaq. Like, oh my god, no, not Shaq. Like, it's like you got some little kid calling him daddy, and now he just run out of his life. Like, these are grown people you're introducing him to. They'll be fine. They'll be okay.
Yeah,
just introduce the man to your family. Like, there's so many weird things going on with Shaq and Kirsten. It's mind-boggling, honestly.
Kirsten also doesn't strike me as the type of person that tells her family every detail of like what's going on with her life. Mm-hmm. And so I could see it very much being like, I've never introduced a significant other to my family, you know.
But you married this man.
And if she's one of those type of people, it's a big deal.
But you married this man. She's acting like her father is like, you know, the big boss level of a video game that you have to beat. Like, nah, you're not there yet. You're not ready yet to meet my dad.
That's how she sees him.
Yeah. They're confusing and confounding, to be honest.
Right. So we switch back over to the ladies, and Kirsten does say that they're at a place right now where they don't know if they're going to stay married. And Nicole's just like, oh.
Oh my gosh, really? Say it ain't so.
Like, that's why we asked y'all to come here. We thought y'all were going to stay together.
We need just one other couple to be a couple with, to be couple friends.
Exactly.
Get with the program.
So we hop over to the men. Shaq says that, Kirsten likes to sit up late at night, talk, and learn something new about each other. And they say
Shaq's like, I ain't for that. Like, right. I want to learn nothing new about you.
They stayed up until 3 a.m. talking, and he had to get up at 6:30. And the other night, he just went to sleep, and she wasn't happy about it. But he's like, sometimes you just got to compromise.
He was so annoyed. He was just like, you could tell, like, the timbre of his voice is just like,
yes,
like, I'm done with this. It's like, take your ass to sleep.
Right. So it's finally time for the girls and the guys to get back together. So the ladies, they came out in these feathers. Kirsten had on red feathers. Nicole has on purple. Shaq is using this country accent. I don't know if you want to impersonate it.
No, I don't. The music, sometimes I note the music. It's just like, this got that like this weird country twang. It's like, we go together like cornbread and butter. I was like, it's like, why? Stop it.
Yes. And so Shaq says that he always tells Kirsten she looks good in red. So he's very glad that she chose red. Even though when we get to the pictures, they're all in this brown and black aesthetic. You can't even tell what color people are wearing. But Shaq does think that Kirsten looked really good. And their pictures actually looked really good together. So that was cute.
Yes, it was cute.
Yeah.
It was cute. I mean, totally unnecessary.
Very, absolutely. They just said, let's pick 10 activities to do this weekend.
Yo, literally. So many activities. Literally. This was the activity episode. Like, oh my gosh. Like, can we cut this show down to 30 minutes until decision day? Like, let's sign the petition. Come on.
Please, I know we complained about the hour and a half at one point because of the lack of details.
How dare you cut it down from 2 hours? Can you cut it down another hour?
Can you have decision day next week?
we good. Can you cut it down to an hour? I wonder if they're gonna do this every season. Like, they're gonna get the season in the can. They'd be like, is this a 2-hour episode season or a 1.5 hour episode season? Because it definitely felt like they were like, oh, this is like an 1.5 hour episode season if I ever seen one.
Exactly.
Like, we can't cut it down to an hour. We have advertisers that we need to pay for this show, so we gotta put some stuff in there. I don't know what you're gonna find in this footage, but make it work.
Yeah, this is one of those episodes I kept pausing, like, woof, we only 40 minutes in.
Yeah.
God. And so once Kirsten and Shaq were taking pictures, we got a confessional from Chris, like, I really, really wish they could just figure it out because they're right there. Like, okay,
I like how invested they are, like how passionate they are about each other working out. Like, oh gosh, if those two kids could just get on the same page.
Right. So then we get a group outing to Lumberjack Feud. Apparently it was
Paula Dean's Lumberjack Feud.
I missed that.
I think I'll pass. I heard she don't like us, so I think I'll pass.
Our kind. Yeah. So apparently Shaq and Kirsten had passed by and was like, this would be great for us to do.
Why are y'all lying? Why are y'all lying to us? Like, why did you get Shaq to just lie to us like that? Like, y'all know you set this up. Like, oh, we just passed by. We just thought we'd go on in. Like, oh, we just happened to all be mic'd up. Like,
yeah. It's for a private session with nobody else there.
Yeah.
So there's like this lumberjack man on the front, and Clint's like, they took a template of my body to put on.
Classic Clint.
Yeah. So we get Uncle Buck Beasley, who is guiding them through this, and they're just learning timber sports. So there's like racing up lumber logs, cutting logs, running across logs on water. We got a confessional from Kirsten. She's like, it looks easy, but it's actually hard. And I was thinking, no, that actually looks hard. Like, it doesn't look easy at all.
I believe you, Kirsten. Like, you don't need to tell me that doesn't look hard.
Yeah, it looked fun. I mean, I will say, like, it looks like a type of place. Like, if I was in the area, I'd probably go. It looked like an experience.
I looked I passed by like that looks dumb. No, but I did enjoy the demonstrations. Like, those guys, like, they were like running up and down that thing. Like the way the guy came down, like they were shocked. Like he came down, I was like, oh my, like is that man human? Like I don't understand.
Like light work.
Yeah, like, this is my job. I do this.
Right. So the couple started going against each other. So Nicole and Chris, they raced up the tree. They didn't go as high as the instructors, but
meanwhile, I'm just like, what am I watching? Like,
I was so invested. It was neck and neck, and then Nicole beat Chris.
Do I need this? Why are we spending 15 minutes at the Lumberjack show? Like,
yeah.
We could have got a couple good shots, a couple nice things, but we were detailed. We were like, there. We got to see every single second of these competitions and see who won. I was like, come on, yo. Like, I know I've already like referenced the challenge today, but it felt like the challenge where we see every team go through a daily challenge, and it's like, why are we watching every team do the same thing over and over and over again? That's what I felt like. I was like,
we were there so long. I thought I was going to need to sign a waiver.
Like, this is like, is this the whole episode? They're going to be here the whole episode? I was worried. I was like,
go back to Nashville.
We're going to do more log cutting and like, learning about lumberjacks. Like, can we move on? Can't we leave? Can't we go?
Please.
I was like Gina. Gina was not having this. Gina was like, I'm good. Can we go now? She was not having any of this
at all. This was not her scene. So Kirsten and Shaq raised. Shaq beat Kirsten, showed no mercy. Clint is watching them. He's like, there's no way I'm doing this. Because even looking up made him nauseous because he was still hungover. So Jasmine ended up going against Gina since Clint couldn't do it. Eris isn't there. Jasmine won, and she actually went the highest.
Bruh, I was like,
showed it out.
I was like, is that a stunt double? Like, like literally, she was up on the thing, like her back was to the camera. I was like, yes. That's not Jasmine. That's not Jasmine. They faking. That's not her.
She killed it.
She crushed that thing. Like, Jasmine is athletic. Like,
yes,
she can do some stuff. Like, I was impressed for sure.
Yeah, I was like, okay, girl. And she wishes Eris was there to see it, because she's like, he might have been turned on because my booty was looking good in a harness.
Jasmine, she's so desperate. Like,
desperate for her husband.
I mean, but give it up. Like, stop, stand up, Jasmine. Stand up.
So then we always have to do this in these group outings. We get these random assortment of people that don't normally talk to each other, talking to each other.
This is like the retreat formula. Like, everything on MAFS now is so formulated. Like, you could write this episode before you saw it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, different people get together. Like, one side of the couple goes here and one of the other side the couple goes there. Now, if we had a scene like we had last season where like Lindy is breaking down with her group, like, because she and Miguel got into a fight, that would have been interesting. But this is just more of the same.
Yes. So we had Jasmine, Shaq, Nicole, and Clint. So one from each couple. Then the other group was Chris, Gina, and Kirsten. When have you ever seen Chris, Gina, and Kirsten talking?
Never. I don't think I've ever seen, besides the forced conversation between Jasmine and Shaq like a few episodes ago, I'm not sure I've ever seen the male and female counterparts of different couples even really interact.
Right. ridiculous.
I would never believe they talk to each other if they, if it wasn't on camera.
Right. So Chris sat down. He's like, "Hi, I'm Chris."
Yeah.
No,
Hey, good to meet you. Nicole's my wife. You know Nicole, right? Yeah, she's my wife.
So Jasmine tells her group she thinks that yesterday was turned a new leaf for her and Eris. She's like, he says all these good things about me, but like that still don't turn you on.
Jasmine.
He can say a lot of good things about his mom too.
Stand up. Do not take this. She has the tiniest like glimmer of hope. Like, like he said something nice about me. We're staying married forever.
Yeah. Shaq brings up the thing about Kirsten going to his events. He's like, yeah, like, I was telling her, to come to my next event. And she pulled out about how I didn't like her not coming to Nash or Memphis. And she pulled out her calendar and was like, okay, when is the next one? I'm writing it down. He's like, whoa. No, I just want to know that you want to be there. What's wrong with her scheduling it to say, like, you're clearly...
This man is never satisfied. Never. She said, okay, I'm going to be there. Like, I'm going to put it in my calendar. You can count on me to be there. He's like, it's not good enough. I want you to really want to be there. Like,
love me.
Dude.
Choose me.
Yeah, because I don't have a life. Like, I can just follow you around to work functions and just be super happy about it. I love going to university recruiting events. That's my kink. That's my thing. Like, I love it. Like, no.
Yeah, it's like, what's wrong with her putting it on her schedule to make sure that she comes, to make sure that she doesn't schedule anything else?
Shaq just gotta complain. He's just gotta not be ever happy enough.
He wants her to want to go to these university events as much as she wants him to show an interest in her.
Yeah, like I don't get it. I don't understand. Like he's never happy enough.
Yeah. We cut over to the group with Chris, Kirsten, and Gina. And Kirsten is like, she wants to feel secure and that she thinks that supportive side will grow and she will be there for him. And we cut over to the other group. Shaq feels like it's been a small amount of time to make a very big decision. Jasmine thinks that, they should push forward if Shaq thinks that there's any possibility.
Eris is not here, Jasmine. You need to talk directly to Eris. Like, he's not going to hear this.
Right.
I think if there's any possibility, you better say yes.
Right.
Eris. Don't embarrass me on national TV.
Right. Shaq says that him and Kirsten just want to be happy. Isn't that the goal for everybody? Nobody wants to be miserable. Shaq says they both want to be each other's best friend. Nicole says like her and Chris are already making plans beyond decision day. She feels like they're both irrational, but he's very chill and she's very not chill. And we cut over to the other group and Chris is like, yeah, I'm more laid back. And I've been able to get her to the point to talk through things so that we can just get past it. Gina says that she's easygoing, but Clint was pretty drunk on his birthday and she was surprised. He found the bed. He couldn't find his PJs. And Kirsten was like, well, you took really good care of him. And she's like, well, if you ask anyone, you wouldn't want that in a marriage. And I'm like, Gina, this was his birthday. If it was just his birthday, I understand. But if she's trying to hint at there have been other times that she's had to do this, then I get it. But if she's complaining from this one instance from his birthday.
She put out the Chris from Atlanta drunkard card. You are a drunkard. Like, I mean, yeah, please lighten up, Gina. Like, he got drunk on his birthday. Yes, you had to help him, but that's another part of marriage. Now, like, I don't, me and wife aren't big drinkers, so we've never really had this issue. But if someone has some fun, like a lot of fun one day, like just be there for him. And Gina's like, I am not here for that life. Like, I do not want to be taking care of this man.
I am nobody's babysitter.
He better find somebody else to be his, his companion to take care of him when he's drunk.
Yeah.
She really fired some shots here.
She really did. we hopped over to Clint's group. Clint says there is a world where they could continue. Isn't there a world where every marriage?
That world is light years and galaxies away.
Yeah.
This is a multiverse, and there aren't that many verses where this is a thing.
Like, there is a world where if Gina was attracted to Clint, and Clint was very into Gina's passion with her salon, and this perfect world where the experts were there every step of the way, like they could make it.
Where is that?
Right.
I mean, listen, there's also a world where like Clint and Shaq are married, and Clinton's going to Shaq's recruiting events, and they're both super happy. There are many multiple worlds, as the Marvel Universe would teach you. Right. But that world is not really anywhere to be found here in this world.
Right. We're talking decision day in this world, Clint.
Unfortunately, Clint, you are here in this world. There's no universe hopping. You are stuck here.
Yeah, there is no whole new world. Shout out to Halle Bailey.
Not the Halle Berry shout out.
Bailey for
I said Bailey.
You said Barry.
No, I didn't. Run the tape.
Run it back. Yeah, we're not recording or anything. So we cut over to Gina's group. Gina feels.
Oh, you said gloop. You didn't say group.
I saw a meme that was like, there is nothing funnier than when a friend mispronounces a word and people just won't let it go.
Oh, you started it.
I know. Anyway, in Gina's group, Gina feels like he never he never built an attraction for her, and she never felt like a wife. She's always felt like a friend. He's never felt like a husband.
Gina, I wonder why. Like, because you have been so cold to this man.
Yes,
every step of the way. Yes, like I wonder why. Like, and it goes to what I was saying like a few weeks ago, where like, I mean, I think if Clint had just even tried a little, he could maybe soften Gina up. But Clint in when we get back to Clint's like, yeah, I just haven't been attracted to her, so there's nothing we can really. I was like, okay, so I mean that answers that question. Like we were wondering, like, is Clint attracted to Gina? I mean, he kind of says like he's really not. I mean, but I think they're at a point now where it's just like, I don't really find you attractive. I find you to be a friend. I think attraction can grow, but as has been said on the show, if you're not watering it, it's not gonna grow.
Exactly.
They're just letting it die on the vine.
Yeah, and they're like, what's happening? Gina's like, why is this happening? Just doesn't go get
because you're
water.
Not trying.
Oh goodness!
And why did she put it all? She put it all on Clint. She's
all
like,
on him.
No
responsibility.
He hasn't fought for me because you with every fiber of your being, you with your facial gestures toward him, you with your attitude towards him, have told him that he shouldn't try. Like
exactly.
Verbally and not even really verbally, but non-verbally, you've pretty much told him there's no point of trying because it's done.
She's like, give it up, bro.
Yeah.
So we're finally done with that date. They had there was a scene with Kirsten and Shaq out on the balcony.
So many balconies this episode.
Yes, I was like, y'all can't talk indoors. Y'all have
no. We have to show you this wonderful view on this balcony. All the producers are like, nope, we're having this conversation outside. Let's go.
They're like, no, we want to do it in the kitchen. Nope. Go upstairs.
Let's go. Clint and Gina like, can we go anywhere else beside this patio balcony? Like, nope. Can we go on a date? Nope. Y'all are just friends. You're not going on any dates. You're going on this balcony for all your conversations. You're just staying here the entire episode.
Montre is like, you think we're about to spend money on you on a date when y'all don't even like each other?
You're not getting us like that.
So we have Kirsten and Shaq, and this is like what a little bit of what we had seen from the previews. So Kirsten asked Shaq, like, how was y'all's talk? And Shaq was like, yeah, I just talked about he was like, it was good. And she's like, well, what did you say about us? And he was like, well, I talked about us just like we're working to get on the same page. And she said, yeah, that's like the hardest part of our marriage is being on one accord. And
Yes.
she's
Yeah, you know, Kirsten, our boilerplate answer to everything. We are not on the same page. That's the company line that we have to toe every time someone asks us about us. Nope, we're trying on the same page. We're trying on the same page. We're trying
like stop stating facts and start doing some actions to change this. We know what it is. Now work to change it. I don't understand.
I said nope.
So she says she feels like they still need to have some deeper conversations as they approach decision day. And he's like, well, like he said, like, we have been talking, like talking more has been a consistent thing these past few weeks.
He said, what else do you need from me?
Right.
The deep conversations are all the time. Like, what else can I tell you that I haven't told you?
He said, it's not like we come home and we don't say anything and then we shower and we go to bed. He's like conversations to learn more about each other is not a need for me. I observe you and that's how I learn about you. She's like, well, it is a need for me.
I mean, just another example of Shaq being so selfish. Like we heard on the last episode, he's like, make sure you happy first and then you can make your wife happy. Like, it's all about Shaq. Like, Shaq's like, I want you to come to my events. I want you to want to come to my events because you want to be proud of your boy. Like, it is all about Shaq. And I am.
It's like, is it? Okay, so is it that he wants like a trophy wife without the responsibility of like building that connection or like that deep connection? Or because like it seems like he wants a wife, but not the things that come with being a husband.
But it's hard to know without knowing what their conversations have been like. Because for Shaq, it might be like, yeah, like I don't know what else you want from me. I've gotten pretty deep. I've like been an open book. Like, what other deep conversations do we need to have? Or maybe it's like a thing where Shaq's level of deep is like, yeah, this is good. We can just stay here and be this deep. I don't need to be any deeper. Like, what else is there to know? And Kirsten's like, no, I want to get to the crust.
Yeah.
I've Clint's vocabulary has been incepted into me. I want to get to the crust.
Right.
Like, and I mean, again, like it came into my mind before I thought about like they need to get on the same page about what is deep to them. Like, what is deep to Kirsten feels like a different thing of what is deep to Shaq, and they're just like really missing each other on that.
Oh, absolutely.
But for Shaq to be like, I don't need the conversation, so I'm good.
What happened to compromise, Shaq?
Wow, bro. Like, that's cold. That's cold-blooded.
Because, like, what she's hearing is, you don't want to continue to get to know me on a deeper level.
I don't care to know you on a deeper level. I'm good.
Exactly. So we got a confessional where she's like, I'm very concerned that he's not able to give me the attention that I need. Which
Shaq is like, in 6 days, 18 hours, and 24 minutes, I don't need to get any deeper with you.
He said, so she was like, do you feel like it's possible to get on the same page? He's like, I do. And she says she just doesn't want their marriage to be a struggle.
Oh, well, listen, Kirsten, I got bad news for you. Marriage can be a struggle, and every marriage can be a struggle. Like, there's no marriage that is struggle free. Like, I got bad news. Spoiler alert.
So since they're on the balcony, they look over the balcony ledge, and then they see Clint and Gina down there. No,
they're talking on their balcony. Hey, you guys talking on your balcony too? Yeah, our producer wanted fresh air, so he decided we had to go on the balcony and talk.
Right. Inside wasn't pretty enough.
We are being held hostage on this balcony. Can you get us some help? They won't let us leave. We saw another bear, and the bear's on its way. Can you help us? They will not let us back inside the house.
The bear is approaching, but we have to finish this conversation.
They want us to have a meaningful conversation, but we don't know how to do it.
Right. Gina's like, I don't want to have a meaningful conversation.
I don't want to know this man anymore.
She probably at this point wishes a bear would walk up and just interrupt the whole trip.
She was like, yeah, Clint, go talk to the bear. Go ahead, go. She probably would encourage him to get out there and like, yeah, talk to the bear.
She brought like bear food and sprinkled it around the edge of the house.
She was one of the production van open. Yeah. She put honey all throughout the house into their bedroom. Like, Come on, Pooh Bear. Come on in. I know you love honey.
She threw away everybody's bear spray.
What happened to all the bear mace? I don't know.
Ooh, have no clue. We guess we got to go back to Nashville.
Clint, honey on you. Oh.
Oh gosh. Okay. So Clint and Gina, they're outside. She comes out. She's like, today was rough. Julia quit in a text.
Now, when we saw this last on the preview last episode, I remember us being like, oh my gosh, like they're getting deep. Like Gina is crying, like they're talking about something deep and personal. Nah, it was about work. Surprise, surprise to everybody. It was about work, and it never gets off of work. This whole conversation is about Gina's work. It never gets about the two of them.
Never.
It's about her job the whole time.
I think if anything, this whole conversation just showed Clint's ability to adapt to who he is married to, because he was so supportive and sweet in this conversation, which just shows me like if Gina was into it, he'd be down.
Yes.
He'd be all over, and he probably would be a great husband.
Yeah, Mark's 100%, like 100% Mark's across the board. He handled this like a pro. I can definitely relate to this. My wife does work in the retail industry with a lot of young women, so I have heard this same thing 1,001 times. And that is what you do when you're that husband. You're like, oh man, that sucks. Like you be invested and you like console them and you comfort them. Like that's what you do.
Yeah.
Now, my wife has never cried about a person quitting on her. She's like, that they need to go anyway. I'm just mad. I got to work doubles now.
Yeah. Basically, Julia is one of the younger girls on her team, and she quit. And Gina seems to think that it may have been because she had to be stern with her one time, which we learned more on After Party, that they were going on a trip and one of the other girls was supposed to be going, but Julia was being mean to that girl.
Again, it just goes to show they have no real content. Rudy, why are you asking us on After Party? Like, I don't know. We got to ask the man something. Like, damn.
Like, she's like, what you want me to ask him? How are him and Gina?
Like, so why the girl quit, Clint? Like, why? Why is this a thing? Why do we have to know this information?
We got to get some words out of Clint. I can't ask him about Dom yet.
Oh, my goodness.
So yeah, Gina says like younger girls are making emotional decisions, and Clint was like, "Oh, you put so much time into training her up," and Gina's crying. She says she poured so much into someone, and now she's being taken advantage of. I don't mean to laugh at her situation, y'all. I'm just talking in context. My laughter is coming from in the context of we should be focused on their marriage. Had the most vulnerable we have seen Gina is when her employee quit.
This is the most vulnerable we have seen her in a relationship show. Talking about her business, which she talks about 24/7 anyway. I had to check. I was like, what show am I watching again? Am I watching like something about businesses? Like, because this has no place here. Like, this is nothing about y'all's relationship. It's only
they should have shown. This is what
exactly. Literally, that's when I came up with that. I was like, this is just like the extra content that they did not put in the episode that just could have been an extra bonus scene for no reason. And I was astonished because like it never moves to like, how is this akin to our relationship? How can we compare this to our relationship? But no, it was from beginning to end was about Gina's business. Why is this in the show? Literally.
We just had to see the side of Gina. She said
cut the damn show to 15 minutes. Like, I'm gonna keep bringing it down. Like,
we are at 15 now. She said she just realized she has to maintain that boundary between owner and friend. And
why do I care? I don't. Why am I hearing this?
This is the first time Clint has seen her cry. He's just said, look, you just got to keep moving forward. Can't let this set you back. And she appreciates the encouragement. And in the confessional, we do see her say that she likes that he can give sound advice. Like a great friend.
Mm-hmm. You also seen the look on my face. I was like, why? Why is this here? What's
Yeah.
going on? The look of bewilderment, like, what the?
Then we get another pointless activity. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Meow, meow, meow. Pointless activity alert.
We have Chris and Nicole at Crave Golf Club playing mini golf.
I like that you got the name of the golf course.
I had to write something down. So she's shooting. He calls it a mulligan. And then we get a confessional from her. She's like, I guess I didn't get a strike. And the producer's like, a strike? She was like, stroke? I don't know sports. He's
riveting content. This is riveting.
He's having trouble really having her enjoy this because he's like, are you having fun? She's like, well, we'll see with this hole. And he's like, it's going to change with one hole. She's like, it's just hard not to be hard on myself when I'm not being good at a child's game. You could just see the eye roll go throughout Chris's entire body.
This is the first of two moments in this episode where Chris is like, do I want to do this? Like,
exactly.
Do I want this to be my life?
She says she typically avoids things she's not good at. Which, who's great at mini golf?
No freaking body.
The point is that it's supposed to be oh, oh well, my ball's way over there.
Supposed to take crazy shots. Like,
yes.
She just finds any way to make something a downer, to make it about her and her insecurities. Like, just relax.
Just
woman.
Enjoy. I feel
fun.
like he just wants her to have a good time. Like, he just wants her to have mindless fun, but it never can be that.
Yeah. She talking about she flipped the Monopoly board one time. I was like, yep, I can definitely see that.
You're like, that tracks.
Yeah. She would be accusing people of cheating. Like, you're stuffing money. You're the banker. You're stealing money from the bank. I know. I've seen you do it.
She's like, stand up. Let me see what's under your legs.
Empty your pocket. You got an extra chance card in there? A community chest?
What are the odds you have a get out of jail free card? Okay.
You won a beauty pageant and got $75. Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. You got inheritance, right? How come you're always getting money? You never get taxed. Like, what is this?
Oh my God.
I'm done with this. F you and your little dog. And you and your little race car, you and your thimble.
Oh my goodness. We do get a confessional from Chris saying that this probably will be the last time they play.
Anything they do is gonna be the last time they do it.
They're never gonna get to repeat anything.
No.
Which that should start to be a sign for Chris. Like, wait a second. We can't double back and enjoy these things. Why is that?
Nope.
And then I don't know if this was chopped in because they never showed her mouth. But she said, you parked at your own risk. You marry a stranger. This is you get what you get.
Oh, I mean, that was definitely like, ADR added in. I don't think she said that at that time. But I mean, listen.
But that was her voice.
Yeah,
at some point in time.
She ain't lying, though. She ain't lying. Chris should think about that. I don't know if she said it to him, but that's what he need to think about.
Right.
This is what you're getting. Like, this is your life now, Chris. This is what you want your life to be. I don't know.
Right.
So yeah, the moment we've all been waiting for, comes around. Eris comes back to the retreat.
Oh my gosh, he did.
It's Eris.
He actually came back.
He walks in the door, says, hello.
I feel like he was going to leave it at that if she hadn't reached in for a hug.
He's like, oh, you want the hug? Okay, sure. Yeah, no problem. I forgot I'm supposed to be hugging you now. Ooh. In a confessional, he says, this is my first time really being away from Jasmine for a day. And to my surprise, I actually missed her. Like, imagine that. I missed the person I've been spending the last 7 weeks with. Like,
my wife.
God. Just color me shocked.
I couldn't believe he had the nerve to say that he was shocked. Leave it at that. I miss my wife. Not, I'm shocked. I actually missed her.
I'm sorry. I messed up the line. It's tickle me shocked. I'm sorry.
Tickle me shocked. Yes.
Yes.
The new saying that everybody
the
should
hottest
be saying.
phrase, the hottest phrase around. So they go out, they go outside to the balcony, the hot spot. They play a big version of Connect 4. She asked him about his event. He says, "Yeah, you know, I actually met one of the big wigs in the company, so I'm glad I went and didn't do it on Zoom." It's like, oh, so you could have done it on Zoom. You didn't.
That was an option. That's what I was like. Oh, how convenient! It was nice to go, but it wasn't mandatory.
She's like, "Oh, I gotta go. Sorry." He's like, "Yeah, cool. It's cool. I went and didn't go over Zoom." I was like, "Oh, okay, interesting information. Right. You were looking for a way out."
But why did it feel like he was gone for 3 days? When it was
how long were they here? It felt like they were here for like 2 weeks.
I know. He literally, honestly. She's like, "Oh yeah, so at dinner yesterday, it was really nice to see what you said." I was like, "Wait, record scratch. Dinner yesterday?" He was gone overnight.
He was gone for like 8 hours, and he came back real quick.
He like did the meeting that morning, came back in the afternoon. Hey. Acts like he's been gone for, well, it's because they've done 5 million activities.
Yeah, we did a lot of stuff. And she's telling him all about the stuff, and he does the worst job at pretending to be interested or pretending to care. He's like,
"Oh, so annoying."
Like, "Oh, yeah. Well, interesting." Right. Like, literally, that is what he's like. "Oh, cool."
And meanwhile, the previous day, she's, "I can't wait," or whatever they went. "I can't wait for Eris to come back so he could see," or "I wish Eris was here to see it." He wouldn't have had a good reaction if he had. He would have been like, "Okay, yeah, but watch me."
That's cool. That's cool.
Right.
Yeah. Good job.
He's like, what did he say that got on my nerves? He was just like, "Oh, you may have been good at that, but you're not good at Connect 4." As he beat her.
Because she was distracted trying to tell you about her life and her day, but you were focused on Connect 4 game, not even listen to her.
Ridiculous.
She tells me, "Yeah, everybody was saying how great you were last night and all the stuff you were saying. But I do really appreciate what you said. And it really caught me off guard. But, you know, I appreciated it." He says, "Oh, yeah, you know, it was well-deserved. My goal was to make you cry, and I did it." He talks about how much he missed Duchess. He says, "Yeah, I even missed the hair on the floor." And Jasmine's like, "The hair on the floor?" Like,
because Duchess does not shed.
Apparently. He's like, "Yeah, your hair." He's like, "Oh, you missed me? little old me?" And she literally looks shocked. She looks about as shocked as Eris was that he actually missed her. She's like, "He said he missed me." He's like, "Well, I mean, it's more about my routine. Like, you weren't there."
He's like, "I missed like the whole thing."
Yeah, the whole thing, you know. Not just you, but you know.
Don't get it twisted.
In my life, like, don't let your head get too big now, Jasmine. Like, you better calm down.
You never gonna hear me say I miss you.
Now, so your head getting too big. I gotta bring you back down to size a little bit. I missed the dog more than I missed you, and the dog wasn't around because you weren't around. Don't get it twisted, okay?
Right.
In the confessional, Jasmine says, "Eris is pretty hard to read, but you know, when he was gone, he really checked in on me, and you know, it was good to hear that he actually missed me." I was like, "Oh, okay, sure." Want better, Jasmine. That's all I gotta say.
Please.
Just want better. It's almost getting to be page levels, and I am uncomfortable with it.
It's yeah, because it's like, okay, I can't knock her for being hopeful. Because who wouldn't want to be hopeful? But we're 7 days out, and you're just like trying to grasp at any little thing to justify we should give this a shot at like a relationship. You shouldn't be trying to grasp at that right now. You should be trying to grasp at, can I spend the rest of my life with someone? Not, oh, can this just be a relationship that can happen? You know?
I mean, she definitely seems like a let's work on this past decision day person. I mean, she's pretty much said as much. But I just how can you see any real hope? I mean, he's giving you a small little something 7 days from decision day. I don't see I don't see it working out, and I want her to want better because she deserves so much better.
You know what it is though, which is like just plaguing the nation, is she's like, I have someone right here, and that's better than being single.
This is better than the uncertain. I have this person here who I have locked in for right now. Like I should try and make that work. I mean, it does go to experience with like the dating scene. Like I haven't found nobody else. I got this man here. I'm trying my best to make him want me.
Right. She's like, if I can make it work with Aries, I'm fine with that. Yeah. But I'm like, I don't have that mentality. I think being single is great. The freedom is spectacular.
A love shot at me? I don't understand.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying a lot of people do have that mentality.
Being married is great too, Asia.
Sell me on it. No, I'm kidding.
Let me get my PowerPoint ready.
You get your megaphone.
Yeah.
Being married is wonderful.
Yeah, for anyone that can hear me upstairs. I love being married. Shaq and Kirsten are preparing to leave because they're leaving early because Shaq has to leave due to his work schedule. In a confessional, he says, the fact that she's willing to leave early for me is great because it really feels like she wanted to do it. And I didn't have to ask her to do it. I don't think she wanted to do it, Shaq. She's doing this for you. Like,
yeah.
Come on. Let's get real. And I mean, this is the second time that we've seen that she has to either miss out on something or leave early because of his stuff.
And let's be real. I'm pretty sure, like, if they had another day, like, it made sense for her to go back with him. They rode there together. That's why Aries came back, so he could take Jasmine.
Yeah, but she said that she wanted to do it. I didn't make her do it. She wanted to.
Yeah, right.
Brother. So before they leave, they're going to get together with everyone for dinner. Clint, of course, is the cook of the like house. Like he is making meals for everyone. Every single meal has been cooked by Clint. Like on after party, Keisha gave Clint seasoning because Clint does not season his food apparently. Really tickled me, and I mean, good opportunity for Keisha to. I'm sorry. Who was Keisha? Rudy to
because it was Keisha's seasoning, so we'll
check it was something from Keisha's kitchen. Keisha's kitchen. For whoever Keisha is, she's like, I'm gonna give you this because you need it. I mean, you're down south, you need to learn how to season your food. I was like, oh, get them. Because
we get this extended scene where he was seasoning the salmon with just oil and salt.
I'm surprised they didn't put it in the episode. I honestly am surprised that wasn't in there. Like
that couldn't have made it.
There's more riveting content. I can just like it really put a new spin on things for me. Like I can just imagine people being like, "Oh, yeah, Clint cooked again. Thank you so much, Clint, for this unseasoned food. Really appreciate it."
I was like, he didn't even do salt and pepper.
Just salt and oil, apparently. So Shaq asked the group, so what did everyone take away from this weekend? Aries says, I learned that we have to take things one day at a time, leave the past in the past, forget that I said anyone's unattractive, that I'm not attracted to them, just forget all that, and try to win each day.
Win the day.
Yeah, Gina says they need to give themselves grace. Everyone needs to give themselves grace.
Yes.
And they have all learned a lot. She's thankful for all of them and wakes up each day with gratitude. She talks a little about Mac and Dom. She says, yeah, Mac and Dom quitting made me realize that that's the easy way out. And I'm thankful that we're here putting in the hard work. What hard work? You're here for a stipend and free trips. Like what? Like you're not doing your hard work, Gina. Stop it.
The hard work is being on camera acting like she likes Clint.
Is she even acting like she likes Clint?
It's true. She's not even acting like she likes him. She's just there.
She's there. Let's take up space.
Talking about grace.
Nicole thanks them all for helping her grow. And she hopes that she's given them words of wisdom. Yes, Nicole, because you are our 5th expert of the season. And
she's like, your role. That was almost fishing for a compliment. I hope I've given you guys some wise words.
It worked. They were like, "Oh yeah, Nicole, you've been our saving grace around here." Like, because Lord knows we don't have any real experts, so we'll take you.
Right.
Jasmine says for her, it's continuing to be open and optimistic and to let things play out and not plan for the future, but be in the moment. Kirsten says, someone's told me to be where your feet are and you really have to be present. Okay.
That's good, Kirsten.
Yeah. Oh my God. Look at you contributing. Shaq says, with every lesson, there's a blessing. And they apparently all catch the Holy Spirit. And Clinton says, hallelujah.
Y'all, we are not kidding. Oh, I woke up a dog.
Uh-oh.
Y'all, we are not kidding that this is the content. This is it.
We're not making this up. This is what they gave us.
Well, some stuff on here we're making up.
Oh, yes.
Monopoly games. Yeah. But it just felt like this should have been a throwaway episode. Yeah. Why are we having 3 wrap-up conversations? We have this, then they gotta eat breakfast, then they gotta
It's like Lord of the Rings, right? Lord of the Rings had like 18 different endings. It's like, how many times
you're asking me if I remember?
I mean, it was a thing at the time. You not watch Lord of the Rings?
No.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I didn't either.
Oh, okay.
But I heard that there were many different endings. It was a thing at the time. And it's like, how many times are we going to have to have the same type of conversation? Like, we had this same group conversation 3 different times this episode. Like, we get it.
You need to see from your spouse.
Honestly, when they asked that later, I was like, y'all just asked this question last episode.
Right.
Why are we doing this?
Even if I was in a solid relationship, I'd be like, Skip, we have
like, can we talk about something else? Like, what TV are y'all watching? Like, anything. Give me something good.
Yeah, I wonder how many of those good conversations, like, they're really getting down to the nitty-gritty, talking about like Love is Blind.
Yeah. Like, God. Yeah, it's like here come the cameras. Everybody get your scripts out.
You're like Gina, Grace, perfect.
Yep, you're Grace
Wisdom?
This time. Yeah. Shaq, Kirsten, same page. Y'all know what to do. Nicole, gotta work on your securities. You know that, right? Chris, you're a people pleaser.
Eris, you want Jasmine to speak up. Yep, exactly.
You wanted to tell you when things are bothering you. Jasmine, you want more connection. You want to be attracted to you. We got that. Everybody ready? All right, here they come. All right, action. Everyone say your lines. Oh gosh. So Jasmine whips out the fun card game that her and Eris played on the car ride up.
All right, fun.
Time to torture everybody and let's play this fun, terrible game.
What do you hate about me?
Like, what do you like least about me? Be honest.
What gets on your last nerves about me?
Why do you hate me?
What, if any reason, why would you break up with me?
Are you more toward divorce or not? And why? Oh. The first, Eris, what don't you find attractive about me?
All right, go on.
Yeah, I want to hear it. So yes, the first question is Nicole and Chris get the first question. It is, what do you like most about me, and what do you like least about me? Chris says, the thing I like least about you is how hard you honor yourself, and I see how it affects you when you question things a lot, and when you don't need to. The best thing is that you are caring and compassionate. Everyone goes, "Oh, even the bad thing was good." I mean, that's how you play the game, right? Like that's how everyone plays this game. Like you got to couch it in something good. Or
like if you're in an interview and they ask you about your weaknesses, you find a way to make your strengths weaknesses.
I never stop working. I guess that's my biggest weakness.
I'm too dedicated.
Yeah, I care too much.
I'm overly communicative.
Yeah. I work from home too much. So Nicole says for her, what she likes least about him is that he puts everyone before himself, but it shows how good of a man he is. What she likes most is that he makes everyone feel comfortable. So which is it, Nicole? You don't like him like not putting others before him, or you don't like him making people feel comfortable?
She wants him to find a way to make people feel comfortable without putting them before him.
That's rather like specific. That's like that's a hard target to land. Shaq and Kirsten go next, and their question is, what is your favorite imperfection about me?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I have a favorite imperfection.
And Kirsten, trying not to say the scar on your head, says, I would say listening. Even though you are getting better at it, which is the line, like, it's this thing, but you're getting better, so it's not really a thing.
Right.
She says you're getting better at it, but it's listening. He says, well, for you, it's about how you dealt with pressure before, but you're getting better at it, and you don't overanalyze anymore.
Now you process, you take time before you respond.
Yeah. Now you actually think before you speak. Good job.
He pats on her head.
Yeah, good job. Good job, trophy. The question for Eris and Jasmine is, what is the hardest thing for me right now?
How excited do you think Eris was the fact that he had to play this game again?
She was dreading this. It's like, not the freaking cards again. She says it's the fact that you get in your own way and you overthink things too much, as she says to him. What he says to her is, I feel like you have a tough time speaking up more and saying when something bothers you that I do. Like, okay. Speak up more. Remember that, y'all. It's gonna come up again. God. For Gina and Clint, it's like, when do I hurt you? She says, well,
this is a terrible question.
This is the fun game we're playing, y'all.
What is the name of this card game? Because what worst questions to ask your partner?
The I hate you game. So she says, well, I've never really felt hurt by you. Is that so, Gina? I remember some kind of comment on the honeymoon.
She's like, so actually in Jamaica.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember this, but about 7 weeks ago. Right. She says, you've never really done anything to hurt me. She's what I would like, she just, and they totally changed the question. Like, it's like, I know you asked me this, but I'm just gonna spin this into something else. Yeah. Like, but something that annoys me about you is that you use so many big words. I mean, more or less, that's what she says. She tells them basically, like, speak with the goal of me understanding you and not the goal of you explaining things to me. So basically, don't use all these dumb word a day count words that you got like from your calendar.
She's like, read your audience.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me like I'm 5. Yeah. For her, he says, the thing that, basically they've turned into the thing you do that annoys me the most is that you're on your phone all the time. She's, oh yeah, you've really helped me see that about myself, and I will work on that. I mean, it's like the robotic, like, oh, interesting, I see that, and I will work on it for you. Thank you for their feedback.
Right.
Kirsten and Shaq, depart from the group. Everyone gives the hugs. I did notice Shaq carried all the bags into the car.
Woo. Glad we don't hear about that later.
Yes. Meanwhile, the rest of the crew get into the hot tub.
Didn't you think it was over? Like, I thought they just had to leave before dark, and then everybody else is going to
like, all right, time for leaving. Time for the leaving montage. Let's go. Let's get this over with. Like, nope, we're still partying. We don't leave till tomorrow.
No one gets in a hot tub when they're about to get on the road. And so
how many days have y'all been here? I feel like we've seen like 5 different nights. Like,
I feel like so we had the talent show night, we had the 80s night, we have tonight.
Was that the same night though? Wasn't the 80s party and the
No, the 80s party was after Eris left.
Oh yeah. Well,
because it was the 80s party / birthday.
Yeah.
So maybe they went on a Friday.
Friday night.
Or maybe they went on a Thursday, and it was Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and they came back on Sunday.
You can't call it a weekend if you're doing that.
That's a long weekend.
That's damn near almost a week. So they get in the hot tub, they got the champagne going. Clint, what are you doing? He pops the champagne and sprays everybody with the champagne. Like, I wouldn't take kindly to that at all. Like,
no, my eyes went straight to Jasmine, and I was like, "What is she doing?" She was like protecting, her hair.
So yeah, it was pop champagne all over them. And Eris, of course, being Eris, he's like, "Yeah, like, give me all the champagne."
I think the only one that thought it was genuinely funny was Chris.
What did Chris do? I didn't even.
He was just
clock Chris.
laughing. He couldn't stop laughing.
Oh, he thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Clint, of course, being Clint, asks the group, "So, what is the craziest place you guys have had sex?" Jazz was like, "I am not telling you what place I've had sex. Do you understand? We're on national television."
And you're Clint.
Yeah, Clint volunteers the information of, "Well, I had sex at the foot of a lifeguard stand once." And there's joking about whether or not it was with a dolphin or not. He says, "I'm not sure. It was all wet. It's hard to tell." And we cut to Gina, who was just like
stone face,
just not amused whatsoever. That feels like the face Gina makes on all of Clint's jokes.
Right.
So later we get Jasmine and Eris hanging out in their room. It's the last night. They're getting ready for bed. They're in bed. He, jokes about, I was used to that extra leg room without you in the bed. Ha, ha, ha. We check in on Clint and Gina. They're getting ready for bed. And Clint talks about the fact that, he was calling for Hank in his sleep and how excited he is to see Hank again. We get to Nicole and Chris. Talk about how great the weekend has been. Yeah, the weekend's been so great with no drama. Like, the thing that y'all like about is the thing that we hate. Is the thing that we hate about it. Like,
right?
Y'all had such a good time. Unfortunately,
this was not the one to make 2 episodes. If anything,
Definitely
y'all
not.
should have made season 13 2 episodes. Houston,
sure.
Yeah.
Chris talks about the fact that she said he puts people first. He says, I've really done that all my life, and I make sure you're calling me out when I do that. Nicole says, well, maybe you should have a boys' night, do something for yourself. I know you want to do stuff with me, but I want you to care about you as much as you want me to care about me. He says, well, I like to hang out with you. She says, I appreciate that, but it's important for you to have time without me and to, for each of us to have our own outlets. I don't want you to fall to the wayside because you're putting others first. How sweet.
He said a lot of his friends are in Chicago.
Yeah, so you're the only person I got to hang out with because I'm not making new friends. I refuse. The next day, Clint and Gina are out on their balcony, trapped out on their balcony again. She asks him what his favorite part of their treat has been. He says, proud of the 80s party. And, maybe just kind of waking up here in the Smoky Mountains this whole time. She says, yeah, for me, it's been the fact that having everyone around and sharing life advice. Clint says, yeah, there's a lot of experience here to learn from. And he talks about how close they've all gotten, how this trip has really recharged his batteries. He confessionally says they have grown closer during their retreat. I said, since when?
What? In what world?
In what way? Please explain. Tell me how. Why are you lying to me right now? He says he is encouraged by this weekend, and they're going to do what it takes to make it work. But there are only a few days left to make that bond before D-Day. And of course, we have to have breakfast. So of course, Clint has to make everyone breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
We're having cinnamon toast crunch pancakes, waffles, lox and cream cheese bagels, and scrambled eggs. Okay, cool.
Full menu.
Yeah, for sure. In Chris and Nicole's room, they're packing to leave. She once again brings up the living situation, saying, yeah, we really got to figure this out. It's really making me anxious. I don't want to go into D-Day without a plan. She hasn't promised me that we're going to make a plan when we get back. He says, yeah, we've been talking about this. It's always been the plan to get this done. I don't understand what the issue is.
It's almost like, I think I figured it out. I think she wants to sign a lease before decision day.
She wants to lock this ish down before decision day. She wants to get the answer before decision day.
Literally.
I want to lock you into a commitment so that you can't say no to me on decision day.
This is her new way of when Pastor Cal told her to stop asking what he's going to say on decision day. She's like, okay, how can I change it? How can we go around it? Yeah. I'm gonna get him to sign a lease before decision day.
Lock him into something, right?
Yes.
She says, well, I just don't want us to be wishy-washy. I want to get this done before decision day. He says, yeah, that's always been the plan. Why are you doing this? She says, well, we haven't explicitly said that is the plan. He says, okay. He says, well, it's not really as easy as saying we'll figure it out, but we'll figure it out. I was like, okay, you said the thing you said you weren't supposed to say. Okay.
Yeah.
He says, okay, but before decision day, right? He's like, yes, before decision day. Like, great. Can you please stop staring at me? And this was time number 2, where you can see on Chris's face, he's like,
you gotta be kidding me.
Is this who I want to be attached to? Is this what I want my life to be? Maybe I should put myself first this time and say no on this day. And she says, well, since we got that out of the way, I have another question for you. Do you want to be silly with me and dress as dinosaurs to go to breakfast? He's like, what is the point of that? Like, why would we do that? She says, just to be silly, you know. She says, I would love for you to do it with me. He's like, okay, sure, why not? Dress as a dinosaur, go to breakfast. What I want to do with my day.
Here's the thing. Had he put his foot down and said no, that would have been him putting himself first, right? Which is what she quote unquote wants. However, I could have seen her turning that on him like,
oh, 100%.
I just wanted to have fun. And he wouldn't even, have fun with me. Like, how am I supposed to have fun in a marriage if you won't even put on dinosaur costumes to breakfast?
Oh, 100%. She would have made that about her. Like, this is a sign that he doesn't want to do silly stuff with me. So he doesn't want to be married to me. He doesn't like me. Oh my gosh, this is a crisis. Yeah, she tried to trick him into being like, yeah, do stuff without me. No, that's a trap, Chris. That is a trap. Do not fall in that trap. Good job, Chris. Like, you're a good husband. You're not falling for the traps.
Chris said, I don't want none of that smoke. Give me the costume.
You're not going to get me. You're not going to get me. I've been in this game for 7 weeks, and I know too well how to navigate this.
Yeah.
In a confessional, a producer asked him, so were you just appeasing her? He says, oh, yeah, 100%. Do you think I wanted to put on a freaking dinosaur costume? No, I did it because she wanted me to do it. So we get the fun little shots of just their tails going out of their room on the way to breakfast. They make a little thing about it with the editing. And they finally enter with the costumes. And I feel like you got the reaction from the crowd that you were pretty much expected. It was like,
what?
Why?
What are y'all doing?
Why is this happening? Gina literally had her mouth open like, what? What are they doing?
Chris didn't wait 2 seconds.
Chris, this was her idea. It's all her. That was her. It's not my idea at all. Nicole is coming in and acting like a 5-year-old, making weird dinosaur noises, pretending to feed Chris's dinosaur food. She says, yeah, guys, this is what love looks like. Chris says, yeah, because I would have done this any other time for any other reason. And another confession, he says, yeah, I really felt like an idiot doing this. I'm not proud of it, but I did it. So we get to sit down at breakfast. Jasmine has volunteered to say grace. You are the preacher's daughter, so go for it. And I mean, I understand his grace, but again, you just need to fill 30 seconds of content, right?
Right. She was voluntold, and this was just the weirdest pass along because it's Nicole's idea for someone to say grace. Mm-hmm. She looks at Gina. Gina's like, Jasmine? Like, Nicole, why didn't you say grace? You brought it up.
I don't know. It was a pretty boilerplate grace. Nothing crazy.
To talk about.
Yeah. We get more compliments for Clint. Oh, Clint, thank you so much for making breakfast. And Clint, who is in charge of this therapy session, I honestly thought we were just going to get a nice little breakfast shot and be on our way. I was like, oh, we're doing another group therapy session? Another one?
Yep.
Clint says, so guys, with D-Day around the corner, what do you need from your significant other before decision day?
Not a single new thing was said.
Eris says what he said 20 minutes earlier and says, I need her to speak her mind and be confident, be the best version of herself. Do you think producers are like, if they say it the exact same way they said last time, like, nope, you said that the same way last time. You got to switch it up a little bit. Like, use a couple different words. Say the same exact thing, but use a couple different words. That's just what this is.
That's it.
Jasmine says, well, I need Eris to create a safe space for me to speak up. And I need our connection and our intimacy to grow. In confessional, Eris says, no, they're really leaving their treatment.
In 7 days.
Yeah, in 7 days. They need a connection and intimacy to grow. In confessional, Eris says they're leaving their treat in a good place. They're both still trying to improve things. Hopefully, they can find that spark before D-Day. Hopefully it just falls out of the sky and hits me that I find Jasmine attractive in 7 days. Chris says,
think right now is Thursday, right? Yep. For us.
Yes.
Can you imagine next Thursday? Think of all the things you could accomplish by next Thursday. They're asking for the world in 7 days.
They're asking for your whole mindset to change.
To shift.
Just the whole thing. You have a totally different outlook on life in 7 days. You are ready to commit your life to this person in the next 7 days.
Yeah.
I don't see it, y'all. Chris says for him, he needs Nicole to stop questioning things like where are we going to live and no more dinosaur costumes. She says, that's fair. No more dino costumes. She says, well, I need him to continue to be him and continue letting me be me. And I also need to plan more for the future because we need to find some place to live. Literally, this is the exact opposite of each other. Like, I need her to stop questioning because I need him to keep letting me question and keep playing for the future. Gina says, well, I need more communication and to cherish the moments we're spending together. Blah, blah, blah. Is my turn over now? Thank you. I've contributed. Are you happy now? He says, I need her to continue to be open-minded and vocalize her issues and solving them together. Clint says, we've already grown this trip individually and as a group. And this has been really special. We get the whole montage of everybody preparing to leave. Eris, make sure he has his crown. Clint is wearing his headband. He's like, you're going to wear that the whole day? Like, yep. Like, fantastic. Great. Clint in confessional says, the couples retreat was great timing with decision day coming up. We have so far to go in a short distance of time. We have a far distance to go in a short period of time. And we see everyone leaving the retreat, and we've been put out of our misery for this episode.
Finally. They are done with the retreat.
Yeah. It looks like
look forward to the retreat, but this dragged
so bad. It looks like next week Gina and Clint sit down with Cal and Pepper, and we didn't really see any other scenes of anyone else sitting down with Cal and Pepper. So I'm wondering if this is for everybody or if this is like an emergency session.
Is this an early decision day? Because the stuff that Gina was saying, for her to say like, what exactly did she say? She was like, she feels secondhand embarrassment with him.
Yes, makes you
That's
feel
very
cringe.
Harsh to say.
She feels cringe whenever Clint is joking or whatnot.
Yes,
and it's like for Clint, I have to imagine that's like a big ego hit.
Exactly. And I feel like that's harsh to say even to a friend. And so I'm like, did they have like a moment where she's just like, no, like this isn't going to work. And, then and they decide like, why are we even going all the way through the decision day? Like, why go through the trouble of going to decision day if like we know this isn't going to work? Because why else would Pastor Cal and Dr. Pepper be visiting them in their apartment?
I don't know. I mean, everyone could be getting a visit. We just didn't see it. Like a last ditch effort from the experts to get people, quote unquote, on the same page. So who knows?
It feels weird. See. Like I feel like why wouldn't they take if they did? I couldn't imagine them not taking the opportunity to show Jasmine and Eris. Once again,
all we saw from Jasmine and Eris was Jasmine on a stripper pole, and Eris throwing money at her. It's like, okay. It's weird because Jasmine has been so like out of her way to be respectful on TV, like because it feels like her preacher dad is watching. And this is like, okay, interesting that this is the route you're choosing.
Anything to spark some attraction from
she's
Eris
trying to spark something.
Yes.
So that's interesting. We get the scene of Nicole talking to her dad. It's like, do you really want to be married to this person or loser? He said either one of those two things. My closed caption said person, but everyone is saying loser.
It did sound like loser, but it felt like it was Frankenbite.
Definitely, this is not going to be what we are presented here, I think.
Yeah.
For Shaq and Kirsten's just asking like, I just want to know if you like me or not. and Shaq looks annoyed.
Right.
So listen, we did get some requests in the Facebook groups. Hey, are you guys watching MAFS UK? Are you gonna cover MAFS UK? Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, you know what? Before we do that,
I'm gonna rate them, or
let's get to ratings. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but nothing really has changed on my side of the fence.
No. So okay, let's go through. I've reached the end of my columns. Okay. So Kirsten and Shaq, we were 3s last week.
You know what? Put him down to a 2 for me.
Wow.
I'm sick of him.
I'm sick of them both.
Yeah.
I feel like she's so on the fence now too.
Yeah, she's being very pessimistic about whether or not she's going to say yes. It feels like he is a yes right now, but it feels like she is like, I don't know.
It feels like she's a 60% no.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll go down to a 2 as well. Jasmine and Aries.
You know what? Bring them up to a 2. I feel they should be rewarded for 2 episodes in a row of good behavior. Give them a 2.
Okay, I'm gonna maintain my 1. Mm-hmm. Nicole and Chris.
Let's keep them at a 5.
Yeah, I agree. And then Gina and Clint.
I feel like we should make a 0 exception for Gina and Clint. I mean, my gosh. But yeah, let's leave them at a 1.
Okay, totally agree.
Yeah. So as I was saying, before I forgot about the ratings, people have been asking us to talk about Married at First Sight UK. I have been watching. I am almost caught up. I have 1 more hour to watch. My wife and I watched one of the hours last night, and we still have an hour to watch. So I'm pretty much caught up. Asia is refusing to watch. I
just can't find the time.
She has so many trips planned. She cannot find the time to watch Married at First Sight UK. So I wanted to kind of educate Asia a little bit on the season and get some commentary, my commentary in for those that have been asking. So Asia,
okay,
much like Married at First Sight Australia is very similar to this. They have a lot of the same format. There is like 8 couples to begin with, and there are usually a couple more couples added into the mix at some point in the process.
What's their justification for doing that? Like, are they just constantly in the casting process, and these people are
I'm not sure really, because so also for UK and for Australia, there is an option at every what they call a commitment ceremony. Every week ends with a dinner with all the couples, and there's also a commitment ceremony where the couples get to decide whether or not they want to stay or leave. Now, an interesting thing about this is if one of the 2 people say they want to stay and the other says they want to leave, the leave person is forced to stay there for another week. They are held hostage by the person that says they want to stay. But typically in usual fashion with the 2 international seasons I've seen, there are usually people that leave before the midway point. So I think they are putting people in the chamber to replace those people that leave.
Gotcha.
So like most recently, we had 2 new couples added to the mix, and we had 2 couples that have already left the experiment.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So we have 3 experts, and an interesting thing that they should, really include into the US version is they meet with the experts every week to discuss their progress, to discuss how things have been going.
A concept.
Listen, I mean, I feel like the US is just too proud to be like, no, we are not going to stray from our tried and true formula.
It's been working.
Now I will say, MAFS UK and Australia cast specifically for drama. It seems like they do not care if these couples stay together. I'm pretty sure, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, because these UK ones that have aired that are airing on Lifetime are actually like kind of delayed airing. They've already been shown in the UK. But I'm pretty sure that we have like a perfect 0 for couples that are still together from these MAFS seasons. So yeah, that's one thing that I think the US could adapt is get some more of these people in there. And interestingly, there are 2 gay couples on this season, 1 lesbian couple and 1 gay male couple.
Oh, wow.
Which is also interesting. So I'm going to run down a couple of these couples.
Mm-hmm.
We have Aysha and Kwame, 2 Black people.
Okay.
Another Kwame, yes.
Okay. He did say it was a popular name.
Yeah, Keisha is very out there and very ready. She's very DTF,
Okay.
as the kids say. And we got a couple of those people on the season. And Kwame is not so much into it. And I think he's too scared to say he's not attracted to Keisha, but he's kind of beating around the bush and saying it without saying it.
Yeah.
So that's been their main struggle, is to find like a balance, because she really wants it. And he is, according to himself, holding himself back because he wants to make an emotional connection before.
That's the excuse he's telling
That's
her.
the excuse, yes. We did have PJ and Jess. They are one of the couples that have quit the experiment early. PJ is a stripper, and he revealed that to Jess on their wedding day, and she was not rightly. No, I didn't say that. I didn't mean that. She was freaked out by this, very much so, and it really affected them, and they could not get themselves out of the friend zone. So they decided.
So she just couldn't bounce back.
Yeah, she really freaked out when he told her that. Like she blew a gasket pretty much. And
do you think
on their wedding day
he could have benefited from waiting to tell her?
Probably, but I think her reaction probably would have been the same at any time he told her.
So I feel like wedding day is so soon, because you said it happened like after the
like
altar,
literally
right?
When they left the altar, like in the get to know you portion right after the altar is when he told her, and she freaked out, like had to have a moment with her mom. He's like, he's a stripper and he lives with his mom. And her mom was like, get the F out of here.
Oh gosh. See, because he didn't even let her form a first opinion or like a first impression of him.
Right.
So
that's a good point. So they spent like a week or two in the experiment, and they were like, she really friend zoned him, and it was just like he was head over heels for this woman, and she was like, yeah, I don't see it. I'm out. So they're done. We also have Richie and Laura, who are both in their 50s. Another interesting thing about this experiment.
Okay, age diversity.
Yeah, Richie used to be in a band. He was a rock guy. He has never really been in a long-term relationship, like, ever. And Laura is more of an experienced woman who's been in a lot of relationships. She's had, I think, a marriage or two before. And she was upset that he was not experienced, and that it felt like she felt like he was his mommy a little bit. Like he was kind of giving that vibe. And she, like, this is UK MAFS, and she spoke with a like really American accent. I was like, what is Laura's story? Because her parents are very British. And it's like, did you spend time in America? Like, where have you been? It was very interesting. So they called it quits around the same time, PJ and Justin.
Really? They couldn't bounce back?
No, she was like, yeah, I'm not for this, because he was pretty needy. And she was like, I'm used to someone with more experience. That's really what I was looking for in this. And I feel like I have to kind of hold his hand throughout this whole thing. So for those reasons, I'm out.
I feel like that, like, so Mitch, wasn't he like 39?
Yes. Mitch was 40. Mitch might have been 41.
Oh, okay. I feel like that's how it would have been if he were with a woman that were 41.
Yeah. Maybe so. Not with Kristen, who really wanted to be married.
Yeah,
was willing to overlook a lot of things. Next up, we have Whitney and Duca. Whitney has been cast for the drama. She was not about it at all. She was very vapid and very shallow on her wedding. She just eyes rolling all over the place. She was not here for it. She was very annoyed.
As if she didn't sign up for this?
That's what if you watch this, that's what you've been saying. Like, no one forced you here. Like, you you signed up for this voluntarily. And
what is she annoyed by?
She just doesn't like him. Like, she literally saw him. She was like, yeah, not really my type, not really my thing. And she really acted like someone forced her to be there. Throughout the whole wedding, she acted like a real, like, crazy person. And Duca has really been taking this in stride. Now, her contention is that Duca is not the same person on camera as he is off camera. She says that off camera, he is not the same happy-go-lucky guy that you see here, and that he said he's only doing this for the clout when they were alone together. That's what he told her. Whether or not that's true or not has not been confirmed or denied.
Yeah, that'd be a funny thing to admit. But I guess that does remind me of what Clint said on After Party about.
Oh yes, we didn't bring that up.
Yeah.
Clint Clint threw Gina right under that bus. He seemed pretty mad about what Gina said on the episode, and he had just watched it. Apparently, he was just like, you know what? Guess what? Gina acts differently off camera than she does on camera. She doesn't really seem to want this or want to be connected to me off camera.
He's like, she's not excited at all or anything.
Yep. So, I mean, I don't think any of us are really shocked by that, though.
Yeah. I'm like, what?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, because she doesn't really act like she wants it on camera either. So, I mean, not really that surprising. Next up, we have April and George. George is kind of an older guy, not as old as Richie, but he's lived a life. He was married before. He has 4 kids. I believe that's another thing about this version of Married at First Sight. They are not afraid to cast people that have kids. Like some of these people have kids, and they do not care. There's like, we don't care.
Funny, yeah. US
kids into this.
Never.
They
thought it was a big deal.
Yeah.
When they cast was the Eric? No.
Yeah, Eric, who was divorced.
Yes. They're like the first divorcee.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
A lot of these people have had 2 marriages, so they're not afraid about that at all.
Yeah.
April and George have been getting along pretty well. There was a scandal on the honeymoon when George left April alone in a hot tub at the whatever resort they're staying in. And apparently April got pretty friendly with the couple that was there in the hot tub with them, and she ended up kissing the woman of the couple. And she was like, what? It was like a little dare. It wasn't anything like to be crazy about. And he really spiraled from this on the honeymoon. And like, to hear her tell it, it was an innocent little like truth or dare kiss thing.
Yeah.
It was no big deal. And he acted like she had banged the dude of the couple. Like, that's how he acted. Because it was like, of course it was a cliffhanger. He's like, she did something so unforgivable. It was like, what did you do? And the next episode was like, oh, she innocent. I mean, I don't know if I want to call it innocently. She kicked a girl on the lips, like kissed her on the lips or whatever.
So she told him about it after the fact?
I think he walked in on it or something. He saw it maybe. I'm not positive on that. But they're doing a lot better now. They're one of the star couples of the season so far. Yeah, they're together.
Okay.
And going pretty strong at this point. We also have Zoe and Jenna, a lesbian couple. Jenna, I'm sorry, I don't know which one is which. I think Zoe. Oh, no, Jenna is a vegan. And that bothers Zoe a lot.
What?
Yes.
What does it have to do with her?
So Zoe is a meat eater, and she says that Jenna's trying to push it on her, and that Jenna is constantly telling Zoe about all the harsh facts about why.
Okay, that is
vegan.
Annoying.
Yes.
She's
just like, I don't want to hear about chickens.
Everybody do you.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want to hear about chickens, periods, or something like that. She's like, she don't want to hear about these gruesome facts that Jenna tells her about why she is a vegan. So they kind of go up and down a lot. We have Adrian and Tom, our gay male couple. Tom is the drama. Tom is the drama with a capital D. Okay. He has caused so many fights with Adrian and with the other people in the experiment. He goes off. And when I say off, I mean off. Screaming, yelling matches every week.
Was it justified?
No, not a little bit. There was a thing in the group about Tom had been talking crap about somebody, and somebody told the other person he was talking crap, and he denied it. He says, that's a lie. And, yelling at people. He is a mess and a half. And Adrian is just like this kind of cool, calm and collected guy that is just like, what is going on? How am I dealing with this crazy person? But they have had their ups and downs. They're still in it, trying to make it.
Do you think they will make it?
No, not at all. Not at all. Then we have Gemma and Matt, who is one of the newer couples, one of the 2 new couples. They are both very tattooed. Gemma,
I've seen them on the preview.
Yeah, Gemma is very sex positive. Gemma makes sexual jokes at every turn, and Matt is very uncomfortable with it. I think Matt is a little unattracted, and he's not trying to say it, but he is telling her basically to back off.
Oh, no.
It upsets him that she is so forward and sexual, and he's not used to that. So it's really
attracted to him.
Oh yes, she is wanting to jump his bones and lets him know it at every turn.
The old Jasmine heiress.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Jasmine is not as like want to jump his bones. She is like on it. She wants it.
Wow.
Like, real bad. We got Sophie and Jonathan, the other new couple. They're pretty boring. Not much really to talk about with them. They seem to get along very well. She is a real professional lady, and he is a carpenter, which, upsets her because she wanted someone that was more ambitious, successful.
Girl, just get to know him.
I mean, they're going along pretty well. So at this point, everything's going well for them.
Okay.
Then we have Shanita and Jordan, who are I have them last because I forgot about them, and then looked up the cast, oh yeah, I forgot them. And that's because they're pretty boring. There's nothing much going on there. They're kind of go with the flow. They are attracted. They are doing pretty well. They haven't had a lot of roadblocks, so they're pretty boring, to be honest with you.
Do they spend equal time on all of the couples, or do they spend more time on the drama couples?
I would say they definitely focus on drama couples, but everyone gets their turn for the most part. Now, like this recent episode, Keisha and Kwame almost didn't exist on this episode. This most recent episode I saw. So yeah, everyone gets different amounts of time depending on what's going on within the group and within the episodes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's Married at First Sight. UK.
Their accent.
Yeah, Married at First Sight UK. That's what it is. It's a little bit of Australian. Yeah, so that's Married at First Sight UK. That's my quick thoughts on that for those wondering in the Facebook group what we were thinking. Aysha will not give you what you want. She will not watch the show, so this is the best you're gonna get.
It sounds good.
Listen, this is for the drama. We're not here for love. We're here for drama. This is mess TV 1010%.
See, and I do need love as a part.
And listen, there's some of that. There's that. But I mean, if you're a couple in love on this show, you're not going to get a lot of coverage.
Yeah. Maybe one day. Maybe a future season. Or if you say this season is just remarkable, it's all said and done.
The Married at First Sight Australia that I watched when it was on Lifetime last season and this have both been really pretty good. I've enjoyed what I've seen, but I mean, like I said, I am someone here for 90% mess. So
yeah,
that's what this is.
Because you live for the mess that's on 90 Day.
Yes, of course.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Well, hopefully y'all enjoyed that little bit of Married at First Sight UK coverage, since y'all been talking about it in the Facebook group. And then, who's to say what the future holds if I ever have time to binge it. But maybe we'll keep this up. Let us know if you like that, because maybe we can keep it up at the end of these for the rest of the season. And then,
we got nothing else better to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. we have our own filler content. Okay, we got to make these episodes 2 hours. That's our way. We can't have no hour and 30-minute episode. That's not us.
We are not Married at First Sight. We don't just reduce the time of the podcast out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But thank y'all so much for sticking with us. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Jason, what are you up to these days?
I'm over on Twitter at JAYR1085. Got some stuff going on right now over on Post Show Recaps. You can find me talking about a couple of shows at the moment. Actually, tomorrow, Friday, will be the premiere of our podcast about the show The Citadel, which also premieres tomorrow. It's a spy show. It's a show. You hear me and Marissa Garza's thoughts on it. I'm also talking over on Post Show Recaps about The Power with Sasha Joseph. Interesting show. I'm sure a lot of these ladies wish they had the same power that the people on The Power have of being able to emit electricity out of their fingers and limbs to shock these gentlemen. So yeah, that is what I'm up to. Most recently on Nothing But Netflix. Unfortunately, Chappelle could not join us. I was with Rob and Ryan Popola as we talked about one of my childhood favorite franchises, Power Rangers, as they did a 30th anniversary special for Power Rangers, and we talked about that on Nothing But Netflix. How about you, Aysha?
Yeah, so you're up to a lot. Busy man.
Busy.
So yeah, y'all can follow me on all social media at Aysha like Aysha. That's AYSHA like ASIA. Most recently, I was on the digital daily drop recap with Taryn for Big Brother Canada. So yeah, continuing coverage there throughout the rest of the season. We're down to the final 5 actually. So this season is almost over. The finale will actually be in 2 weeks when I'm in Canada, in Toronto, for the finale. So I'm very excited about that. So like I said, if you're in the Toronto area, let me know. And anything else I'm up to, I will tweet about it and post about it. Survivor's on, so we'll be on some Survivor podcasts in the future. So just if you give me a follow, you can stay up to date on what I'm up to. But thank you all so much for sticking with us. Let us know how you enjoyed the podcast. Make sure you go join the Facebook group. This week, the password is appeasement. The Facebook group is called A Perfect Match Podcast. So thank y'all so much, and we'll be back next week. Bye.